Namaskaram, everyone. So, this is my uncut version of the first conversation with Lama Karma Purbhu. Before you start watching, here's a quick note to say that this is like a normal conversation between a sadhaka and a monk who has spent so many years practicing and who has, who has such a deep knowledge about what he's talking. This is not like the typical YouTube content and mainstream entertainment that you see outside, which is full of emotional triggers. It is masala content. It is basically made so that you don't stop watching. It gives you those highs all the time in the middle of the conversation. This is a very simple conversation, and I have found that these kind of conversations can be a very meditative experience, and it can really help you deepen your knowledge about these very relevant topics. So, Namaskaram, Lama KP. It is so great to have you
Namaste.
here. Can you just give a little intro on what you do here in this monastery, and then we can talk more about the Namo Buddha place and the monastery itself?
Okay, so actually, I'm here as a principal and as well as the vice chairman of this monastery. And actually, I teach, the monks and the local people of this area, and often the students from abroad, and and some Westerners. Those are like a teenager. Those are above 30 and 40. So they are also interested in Buddhism. So in that matter, so sometimes 1 week or sometimes 5 days. So that sort of within that period, I give some teachings to them also. Yeah.
So, which kind of teaching, like basic Buddhism or even advanced, everything you teach?
So actually, in general, so because in Buddhist point of view, we have to share something, and we have to understand from the both sides. They should also understand who is going to give a teachings, or what kind of knowledge does he have or does she has. They should know also. And one who gives teaching to them also, he or she should also know very properly the background, the culture, the concept, the way of life. Is very necessary to know. So if we know in that way, so then we can tackle, then we can give appropriate teachings which works in their mind. So that it is very important. But for me, if they are very already, if they are Buddhists and they know something about Buddhism, so then I deal in that way. But if they are newcomers and if they are new learners, so I just talk with them like materialist way of life, spiritual way of life, and what's the difference. So if we have the way of thinking in the spirituality way, so what kind of experience we can gain, and but if we don't have the spirituality way of life and we don't know anything about it, but only if we are deal within materialist way of life, so even we have everything, but what kind of problem or trouble or suffer it brings in our mind. So I make that kind of
Adjustment.
differences. Yes. So and way of life, and love and compassion. So in this topic,
So, do
I
you
share
feel like getting this kind of teaching is a good starting point for Buddhism? Because I think yesterday also we were speaking, and I was mentioning that Vipassana is becoming like a starting point for a lot of people because they want to learn a meditation technique, and so they go that route. But you were sharing that you feel that is not the best route to how. So, for as per you, what is the best way for someone to start into Buddhism?
So actually, in Buddhist point of view, first we have to listen very carefully Then when we listen very carefully, then we can arise listening power. We can develop listening power. And from the point of listening power, then we can analyze on it, or we can contemplate on it. Then we can produce, contemplation power or analyzing power. And that analyzing power is the understanding of yourself, understanding of yourself. So that analyzing power, what you gain, is not copy from the books, not copy from someone who said and she said or he said. That's your own understanding. So then thirdly, then from that understanding we can gain the experience. So meditation means, be an experience, make that experience stable, make that experience sustainable, So that's why meditation, in Buddhist point of view, meditation comes, listening. It comes after listening power, contemplating power. Then at the end, then it comes meditation energy or meditation power. So meditation power means what you understood, what you gain, make it sustainable, make it better, make it stable. So, and be on that point. So be on that point, then we have to meditate. So we have to meditate on the shamatha meditation, and we have to meditate on the Vipassana meditation. So shamatha meditation is the calm abiding meditation. So Vipassana meditation means from the calm abiding meditation, what you gain, what you realized from it. So this is something like a cause and result and result of cause and condition. So it is related. Calm abiding meditation, and some translation I have seen like inside meditation, but in Sanskrit, shamatha meditation and Vipassana meditation. Yeah.
So how should we develop listening power?
So listening power means, So if we really want to know about the Buddhism, so go somewhere and meditation somewhere indirectly. So we can have some sort of calm abiding meditation, but we cannot get the understanding of the Vipassana. Because to gain the understanding of the Vipassana, actually understanding of Vipassana means the realization of the mind, actually. But these days everywhere we can see the Vipassana.
Yes.
But name is Vipassana. But what we are doing there means most of 90%, 95% we are doing just the calm abiding meditation.
Oh.
But name is given the Vipassana. So Vipassana in Tibetan we say Laktong. Laktong means you see more what you had before. Means before you did not realize, after you realized, you have a realization of the nature of the mind. That's the Vipassana. But everybody go there on the name of the Vipassana, but everybody doesn't have that kind of experience. Because why? We have a lack of understanding. We have a lack of experience. We have a lack of understanding. We have a lack of listening power. So to gain all these things, we have to go through many steps. We should have a listening, we have to listen, then we can build listening power, we have to contemplate, then we can bring contemplation power, then from that point we can have a own understanding, then experience, then meditation.
But, So listening power, is it just about just doing the listening little bit more mindfully?
Listening power means, firstly, you have to choose the right teacher. You have to find out the right teacher, and you have to analyze the teacher. You have to investigate the teacher. Who is the right teacher for me? Who is perfect teacher for me? Sometimes in Buddhist point of view, everything is connected to each other. So which is suit in my life? So we have to find it out. So the teacher, it doesn't mean that you have 1,000 and millions of flowers. Maybe he is or she is the very best teacher for me. It's not. So some teachers are hiding inside the cave or under the tree. We don't know his name or her name, but they can be also the right teacher and perfect teacher and the realized one. So we have to contemplate on it. Then when we think he or she will be right teacher in my life, then we have to follow after him or her. Then that teacher also know about the students. So from the both side, when we have a mental connections, then he or she will teach according to your capacity, level of understanding. He or she will teach. So in that way, the teachings, what we gain is the listen. We listen for him or for her. Then after that, we investigate. We analyze on that topic. So we have the listening power. So in that way, we have to increase it.
So it's like a close connection with a specific teacher. Yeah, that is a very different thing when we compare to these kind of Vipassana and also just general meditation classes that keep going on. A lot of them, we are simply learning the technique more than anything else. We may not even have much rapport with the teacher. So it's very different now, what you are saying. Yeah, it makes sense, but because if we simply learn the technique, a lot of people are then figuring stuff out on their own only. Because doing the meditation has all implications. And then a lot of times they need help. We don't have the right people to go and all because we never had that teacher to begin with. So yeah, it's a great thing.
Actually, meditation, we have to know what means meditation. In Tibetan term, Gom. And Gom means to bring perfect habits. To bring perfect habits in our body, in our speech, and mainly in our mind. Because our body, speech, and mind is interconnected with each other. So if we able to make perfect habits to the body, so it impacts to the speech and the mind. And how it impacts to the mind, and that energy transfer to our speech or our body, physical condition. So these three things are related to each other. So to have these things, then we have to listen, we have to understand, we should get an experience. Then we can transform our mind into the perfect habit. So then this will produce, these reflections produce our speech. These actions brings into our speech. Actions brings our body. Then it brings connections to the our surroundings or environment, and because we are connected to each other. So then when we have that sort of things, that sort of quality, then we have a peace of mind, then we have a peace of life, then we have a good way of life, then we can benefit myself also, we can benefit others also, and there's some sort of like a good connections, and these things can bring from the understanding of the love and compassion. When there's no love and compassion, and there's no violence, there's no conflict, there's no war, so these things will happen. So that is the process of meditation. So these actions, we can say meditation. So meditation doesn't mean go somewhere and close your eyes and sit under the tree and just physically structure, having a physical structure and go and just sit there. It's not like that. So we the people think in that way. Meditation means go somewhere, run away and just sit under the tree and be in the posture. So that is not the meditation. That's the form of meditation. That's the form of meditation. So because physically we are okay, then it gives impact to the body and it gives impact to the mind. That is just the form of meditation, not a meditation. So meditation means what I mentioned before. That is the definition of meditation in my concept, in my understanding.
Yeah, that is correct, and that's how we often say that any activity can become meditation.
Yeah. Because if we really transform our mind in the good habit and perfect way, even if you sleep, that's the meditation. If you go, meditation. Eating, meditation. Talking, meditation. Writing, meditation. Everything is meditation. Yeah. So, but if we don't have a perfect understanding and right understanding, but if we pretend to meditate for hours and hours, maybe, then it's just for pretend, and nothing is meditation. Yeah.
But so you're talking about a certain quality, an inner quality. Do you feel like the thoughts need to stop? So there is these couple of understandings, like a traditional understanding in India at least, they used to call meditation as concentration. So what they meant is like your thoughts have to become one pointed. But then there's this other forms of meditation that are coming up, which was more just an observation. So in that sense, they are saying no need for thoughts to stop, just as long as you cultivate your awareness. And but I think you are talking about like a quality. So it is not. Is it related to my thought stopping or?
Actually, there's the many types of meditation, but if we conclude, we can conclude in two summary. So one is analytical meditation, one is resting meditation. Okay, so analytical meditation means, you observe on it, you investigate on it, you examine on it. Then when you do these things, when we have a certain quality of understanding, that's through the analytical meditation. But the resting meditation means what you understood, what you realize the truth. So no need to examine on it. And you just be on it and meditate on it. You just simply be on it, just like that. So this is the two sort of meditations. And but for the beginners, so we start from the breathing actually, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. We start from the breathing, or because for the beginners, so our aspirations, no need to find out, we have already. And this breathing is not a future, this breathing is not a past, this breathing is present moment.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to keep our mind present moment while we are meditating. So this is the method to keep our mind on the breathing, because it is present. Because our mind run away and we need some sort of support, and that support is breathing. So then when I breathe out, and I'm knowing that one, and when I breathe in, I'm knowing that one. So that knowing part is the awareness. Okay? And this awareness is because of the concentration. Because concentration and awareness is like something is like front part of my hand and behind part of my hand is something like that. We cannot separate it, but somehow facing to side. One is awareness, one is mindfulness. So mindfulness is the concentrate on the breathing, and because of that reason, I'm knowing what I'm doing. So breathing out, I'm knowing. Breathing in, I'm knowing. That knowing part is the awareness, and that awareness is because of the concentration to the aspiration. So these things we can do it. Then our mind run away. After a few seconds, our mind run away about the future, about the past. Because we have a habit of, we have a habit that we don't have a concentration on the present moment. We have a habit that our mind, our project and whatever, everything, we always think about future, and we think about future, and our mind goes about past. So point of meditation way, so past is already gone, so there is no any value to think about the past. So future is not arrived now. So if you only think about the future, there's no any result. So we can have a result if we have actions in the present moment. Then we can gain the result. If there's actions into the present moment, there's a future. If there's no actions in the present moment, there's no future, because the future is related to the present. So that's why the meditation in the present moment is very important. And this is the how we practice in the newcomers at the beginner level. Even we have a listening power, understanding. Somehow this is the beginning point of the starting point of the meditation. But if we are really familiar with our meditation years and years, we have a really good quality of the realization and understanding, then if you want to stop future, wrong again. If you want to stop about past, wrong. Okay, let's commit what it comes in your mind. Let it come, let it go, let it come, let it go, let it come, let it go. Because when we try to stop something, because it comes naturally and it goes naturally.
Yes.
Like waves. Okay, if we try to stop the waves from the ocean, it's just a big problem, the trouble. The waves comes from the ocean and it again dissolves to the ocean. So when it dissolves to the ocean, it becomes inseparable from the ocean. So something, when we meditate about what it comes in our mind, future and past and present, and this is like a waves. And again, let it come and let it go. Let it go means it again dissolves to the nature of the mind. So this is the how those have a good quality of experience or the understanding of the meditation. Then we can deal with on it. But the beginners, yes, for like a short period, many times is good. Like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes maybe before going to the bed. If we practice about meditation, then it brings some sort of awareness. So when we meditate, like before going to my job, I meditate. It means I'm charging my mind. I'm charging my mind. Then we have some sort of imprint or the tendency. It keeps in our mind. Then 5 minutes, 10 minutes, meditation, keeping some objects in front of you or the breathing and whatever. Then 5 minutes. But when our thoughts comes about the future, that time I'm not in the present. So in that case, what I'm focusing now, breathing, then I'm knowing that, I'm thinking about the future. Then again, bring that thoughts to the present. Okay? Then again, focus on the present, the aspirations. If my mind is, wondering about the past, I'm wondering about the past. I'm meditating. Again, bring it on the present moment and the aspirations. So, what you wonder about the past and future is not bad. Because of the quality, because of the energy of the meditation, because of the awareness, able to know that I'm wondering about the past, I'm wondering about the future, means you are knowing. That's not the bad. That's the good actually. But people think my meditation is not good.
Yeah.
But because it's some sort of like a symptoms, or it gives some sort of signal. And you are able to know this quality, this understanding because of the awareness.
Yes.
So that's also the meditation. Again, bring into the present. And this is the training of the beginner levels. So we can practice in that way. Yeah.
It's a great point that you're saying that when people become aware their mind is not focusing, that itself is a good thing because that awareness has been generated. It's a really great point. I actually have a lot of people who, in my relatives and all, many they'll tell, I can't meditate because my thoughts keep running. But I'm like, you are aware of your thoughts, right? You know they are running away. So how are you saying you're not meditating? That is, it's really...
Yeah, even when we're meditating, even the small noise we can hear, we feel more disturbance. Even we feel something itchy somewhere. all the time when we're dancing, when we're singing, when we're eating, when we're talking with the friends, that time we cannot hear something also. We cannot feel itchy also, But when we meditate, we feel flies coming in my head. We feel someone is talking. We feel itchy from the backside. We feel itchy from the front side, Means you are knowing because you are on the concentration. You are on the awareness. So that is the power of the actual meditation actually. But the people try to reject it. My meditation is not good. It means depress my mind, myself.
Yeah, it's a really great point. It happens a lot. I had read one ebook actually where I think it was the Milarepa ebook only, but no, Milarepa didn't do this. One other monk did it. What he used to do was it's someone from very old times. It was an ebook on. So he used to go to some place where there were lots of flies, and he would just sit very silently. So all the flies will come and sit on him. And his disciple was there, and he's not able to believe what this person is doing because we hate the flies. No, it's so troublesome. So, what that monk then explained to his disciple is that in hell, the kind of suffering that has been described is like where there are so many flies will trouble you. So, obviously, you can sit with a whole bunch of flies, and if you're able to just remain calm and not suffer, then that it always plays in my mind whenever I'm doing meditation and the flies will come and sit. I'm always trying to cultivate the calm.
Yeah, actually, some practitioner, they want to make generosity. They want to, they want to give their body to the others. So for example, mosquito. So some practitioner, okay, mosquito just welcome and sit on their body and just suck the blood and just give it. It means how I can manage, how I can apply my meditation, to facing the problem. So some people practice in that way also. In Tibet, Zapatul Rinpoche just every day sit on the rock and many bees or many sort of flies, I don't know, maybe which is suck the blood and everything, and his body gone, like damage, but he gave the blood or the flesh in that way. He sacrificed his body. So in that way, this is the one thing, because if we have an ego, if we have a self-centered attitude, then we feel pain, then we have a trouble. But if we do not, if we have a less of ego or the self-centered attitude, and how much we are able to reduce on it, so that much we don't have a problem and trouble, even if we give our body to the mosquitoes or the flies and whatever, so no problem. So that time, so that kind of practitioner, there's many methods, but I think they may remain on the mindfulness of feeling. What kind of feel it gives, what kind of sensation it gives. So they remain, on the state of that sensation on the feeling.
This actually leads us very well into the story of Namo Buddha only, because when I read about it, the very brief summary that I read was that in a past birth, Buddha came here as a prince, and there was a starving tiger with her cubs, tigress, and he, out of compassion, gave his blood, and the tigress ate him. I was shocked. I'm like, how is this a good story? This is a horrible. At least that was my initial reaction, and then they had written that it showed the great compassion. But can you tell a little bit about this story? And just again, I think that ties so well to this, because the way that Rinpoche is giving his flesh to bees, this Buddha prince just gave his whole body.
So I think if we don't have, if we have a nil of ego, if we have a nil of self-centered attitude, instead of self-centered attitude, okay, instead of self-centered attitude, we have only thought for the other beings. So I think we definitely can do. This is what I think. Yeah. So, and that also can do through the, energy of love and compassion only. Without this thing, we can't do it. We can get the example. We can get the example, see, in negative way, okay? Like between the partner, okay? Between the partner. When something is going wrongly, so do suicide by themselves. It's not a big matter for them, isn't it? Just thought it, do it. They don't have some sort of like a cherish. They don't have some sort of, like I have to protect it. Something, they do it. But this is a negative way. I think similarly, that kind of mind, they did it through the anger or through the desire attachment.
I understand.
But if we really transform that mind into the true love and compassion, so
you do it.
Something is like that, we can do it for others. Because they suicide, someone will suicide for other, because of not good dialogue or something.
Which of course they are doing, because in the wars and all, the soldier is dying for us.
Yeah, something is,
Similarly.
for the nationality, national, something. See, in that way, but really we have transformed our mind. Why we cannot do it? We can do it. But now, sometimes we feel shocked because we compare with our mind. We compare with my practice. We compare with my ability. So, which is not similar. But I think when that kind of mind, when that kind of, capacity, when we make, greater and greater, I think it is not impossible. I think it is possible. So similarly, even the mother. So mother has a true affection to the children. So if the children is going to die because of the kidney or because of the lung, whatever, mother will definitely, without hesitation, without any doubt, she will say maybe, okay, save my children, I'm ready to die.
Yes.
No problem, isn't it? See, that's the mental energy. And that is also the part of the love, but that kind of love is only my territory, only my area.
It is territory.
So anyway, so that love, we can increase it. Then we can do according to the situations and conditions to everyone. So if we have that kind of method and wisdom and capacity, so I think we can do it. So regarding to this place, Namo Buddha, and there is a story which is quoted by the Buddha, Tagmo Shibido. Tagmo Shibido means that sutra called tigress. Okay. So sutra called tigress is quoted by Buddha Shakyamuni after his enlightenment.
Okay.
So in that sutra, what he mentioned is 1,000 years back, he was continuing on the process of cultivating love and compassion, and he's practicing on the path of the Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means physically, mentally, verbally, I sacrifice to other beings. It means like taking the oath. What I'm doing is only for others. It's like oath. Something is like an oath. Taking the oath. It's something like that. So, when to attain the Buddha, according to the Buddhist point of view, we should practice on the 6 paramita. 6 paramita, or in Sanskrit, Sat paramita. Sat paramita. Par means,
over.
Parchin means go beyond.
Beyond,
actually.
yes.
Okay, go beyond. So what we think, what we see. So this is only this layer,
Yes.
but go beyond through the understanding. That's the paramita. So then to attain the Buddha, we have to practice on the 6 paramita. And among the 6 paramita, first paramita is the dana paramita. Dana paramita is the perfection of giving.
Oh.
Okay. So perfection of the giving. Second is the perfection of the moral ethic or the discipline. And the third one is perfection of the tolerance. And the fourth one is perfection of the diligence. And the fifth one is the perfection of the meditation or the samadhi. And because of these 5 things, this is the method. And because of this method, then we can arise the perfection of the wisdom, which we can say in Sanskrit pragya paramita. Pragya is the light of the mind. Okay, light of the mind, realization of the mind, what we realized. So that's the pragya paramita. So how we can bring paramita, go beyond. So, but if we have expectations, give something and get something, that kind of expectation is not a paramita. So paramita means we have to deal with love and compassion without any expectations, and there's no any grasping, and there's no any expectation, no any grasping, no any attachment. Just do it for others. Just do it for others. So if we have that kind of understanding, then we can develop the dana paramita or the perfection of the giving. So this is the starting point of the to attain the Buddha. So Buddha Shakyamuni, in his previous life, 1,000 years back, so he was born as a prince. So it is near like a Panauti somewhere.
Yeah.
So then one day, with the king and queen, and minister and everybody, they came in this area, in this spot for like a picnic or just for go for like a walk or picnic. They came in this area, and the king and queen, the king name is the Maharat, and they have got 3 princes. So great sound, Mahadeva, great sound, Dachembo. Lachembo means Mahadeva, and the Nyingdopchembo means the great heart. So great heart or the Nyingdopchembo was the youngest prince in their family. So they came in this area, and while all the their parents and ministers and all the attendants, when they were resting in the middle of the jungle, so the 3 brothers went inside the jungle, just for a roaming, just for a walking. So at that point, when they're walking inside the jungle, so they saw the tigress having 5 cubs. So the tigress is nearly going to die because of the hunger, because of not getting the flesh. And because of that reason, tigress not able to feed the cubs, and cubs also going to die. So then the youngest brother asks, what is going on here? So the elder brothers replied, so tigress and the cubs are going to die because not to have, flesh. Then youngest brother asks again, who can give them flesh in this situation? So the 2 younger brothers replied again, nobody can feed flesh in this world to them. Then the youngest brother, Mahasattva is a great mind, great heart, circulated lots of thoughts in his mind because he was practicing on the path of the, perfection of the generosity. So that kind of imprint, that kind of tendency, which is already restored in their mind, what we just save in our chips, or the memory card or the software. What we save it and we display another computer, it all appears. But we need some condition to appease it.
Yes.
Something, it happens to Mahasattva because of the tigress, everything reflect in his mind and try to circulate in his mind, because from the beginningless, my life sometimes waste without any reason. Sometimes in the flood, sometimes in the water, sometimes in the landslide, sometimes in the fire. So, in that, sometimes because of the sickness, illness, I waste my body. I have a death in that situation, gone many lifetimes. But today, if I sacrifice my body to this tigress, then my body can cultivate meaningful life, because I am able to save or the rescue cubs, 5 cubs and tigress. He thought in that way. Then they returned. Then on the halfway again, he said, okay, 2 brothers, you just wait here. I'm going to see again. And he went back again. And what he did, and broke the one piece of branch, and he just cut it his hand and just take out the blood and give it to the tigress, and tigress suck it, and slowly she got the strength, and after that she ate all his body, all his body. But now it comes that for now in our body, when somebody pierces the needle, we cannot bear, because we have an ego, because we have a self-centered attitude, and because we are not applying on the path of love and compassion, life to lifetime. Because our mental energy is so strong, so strong. So if there's no that kind of grasping, self-centered attitude and ego, so I think it is something like when we cut our body, when we have to do the operations, then doctor give the injections.
Yes.
Then our flesh becomes
numb.
Yeah. Then we can't pain.
Anesthesia.
When they cut it pieces and pieces, we don't have any pain. I think when I analyze, something will be like that. But now we have a pain because we have a strong ego, connected to our body, my body. What will be happen?
Yeah.
So we create something mentally, we create in that way, then we feel pain. But when it becomes numb, no pain. Similarly, through the energy of love and compassion, the pain becomes numb. Then he sacrifices his body to tigress. So the 2 brothers waited and waited. He did not come. Then when they went to see, there's only the trace of the blood and nothing, and some bones, and they just convey the message to their family. So everybody shocked, and they came. Then they cried. The mothers fainted. So then everything is they have lots of problem in their family. But what happens, actually the mother's dream, it was happening in the mother's dream. 3 pigeons, the 1 pigeon is taken away by the eagle.
Oh.
So she has that kind of dream anyhow, because I think maybe in Vajrayana Buddhism, or maybe all Buddhism, I'm not sure. But in Vajrayana Buddhism, pigeons refer as a, life force.
Or life force.
Life force, something.
Okay.
And the pigeons represents as a life force, and it means taken one, eagle means the one of the child, one of the son is, taken away.
An eagle is good, no? It's positive. Is eagle is supposed to be a good?
I don't know how it's good or bad, I'm not sure. But anyway, the pigeons refer as a, soak means so life force, and taken away means life force is gone away. The one of the son, isn't it? So, and Then they collected all the bones and everything, and down of this hill there's one stupa now.
Oh,
So Namo Buddha stupa,
they put it.
and they put it there, all the like astudhatu or the relics. And in the story it says like, and then after many years, then the some greater realized people just build this stupa to protect that relics. So this is the how the story it goes in that way. So, and this is the place where Buddha Shakyamuni's previous life completed perfection of generosity or the Dana Paramita.
Oh.
So similarly, then the Shila Paramita, Briya Paramita, Chandi Paramita, Dhyana Paramita, Pragya Paramita, then after his many lives, then he born in Lumbini. He born in Lumbini as a prince again.
Yes.
So because why he choose as a prince? Because if somebody want to do in proper way, he or she should have some sort of power. Even somebody does in negative way, he or she should have a power, but only depends on the mind. So that's why Buddha Shakyamuni, most of his life, choose as a prince. And Lumbini also he born as a prince. Then he trained, he educated, he learned about the politics, everything. And he has a brilliant mind, because the life to lifetime he was practicing on the way of that path. Even since childhood he doesn't want to kill the animals. And his brothers, uncle's son Devdatta, very interested to kill.
Yes.
And one is the killing and one is the saving the life of others. Even Devdatta shoot the one bird and it dropped down, and the Buddha Shakyamuni, so Siddhartha, and took away and did a treatment, and the Devdatta was claiming it belongs to me because I shoot it. So Siddhartha replied, if it is already death, it belongs to you, but it is now alive. This is the responsibility. It's my duty to save its life. Then treatment and save it. And they have a lots of quarrel, and just put in the middle. Okay, this bird, if go in front of you, it belongs to you, but it comes in front of me, then it belongs to me. They have that kind of meeting with him within the minister. So when the bird keep in front, so who loves, it comes towards.
Yes.
So the bird came towards the Shakyamuni. So then Buddha Shakyamuni won that debate actually. So he was continuing doing that kind of activities. But there's a many process, but anyway, then at the age 29, then actually he got married. So he married Yashodhara. Then the Yashodhara gave a birth, Rahula. So at the age of 29, then he left all the he decided, because there's a prediction which is the Rishi ascetic given when he was child. So
yes, if he sees a sick person, a dead person, and
then the Rishi give the prediction that if he left, he will be the Buddha in future. But if he remain in the kingdom, he will be the worldly emperor.
Like a Chakravarti.
Yeah, Chakravarti. He will be the Chakravarti. So, and the king was in trouble. If it happened, then who will continue my generations? So that's why he did not see sick persons, dead person, everything. But one day he went to, now he is like growing, and so then he gave chance to go out. Then one day he saw like a old person, one day the sick person, one day the dead person, then the one day he saw someone's like a monk, in that way. Then he asks, his rider. Then the rider replied, okay, everybody will be like this.
Yes. He
Everybody will be
had
like
not
this.
seen it until that
everybody
point.
will be like this.
And
Then the lots of things circulate in his mind. Why people have a birth? Why people have aging? Why people have a sickness? Why people have why all the animals, all the sentient beings going to have a death? What's the cause of death? What's the source of the death? And what's the result? How we can overcome? So then it circulates in his mind, because that's also it becomes because the practice, because so what I think is the first in his life, the first teacher was maybe that rider. This is what I think. So this is what I think. So then he decided one day, I'm going to, leave this kingdom and family, everything. Then he went. Then he went to Bodh Gaya. Then he relied on many teachers. Sankhya Darshan teachers, Hindu teachers, and many teachers. He relied on them, but he never satisfied with it. Then finally, because what kind of questions arise in his mind when he asks the questions, nobody can give the answer. Because then one day he decided by himself, okay, I'll do myself. Then after that he made just 6 years. Then
he was very harsh, in his sadhana. That time when he went on his own, I think he was very harsh.
Yeah.
Too much he did, harsh.
Then he did not have food also and water also. He just lots of pressure, putting lots of pressure and the trouble in his body. Going to just walk around and to have some water. Then he was so weak, so he just fainted. Then that time maybe the Sujata, they came and offered a food, like a kheer. Kheer it is cooked with milk and rice. Milk and rice, mix it. And she offered to the Shakyamuni. Then after that, strength or the energy, grow in. So, and what he felt is more understanding and more clarity. So in that point, what he understood means every nature, everything is interconnected with each other. So we are relying on the food, and food is relying to us, which gives energy something. So he just able to know the phenomena or the philosophy of interconnection. Everything's interconnection in that way. Then after that he tried to eat. Okay. Then after that he tried to eat. Then glow his face, glow his body, glow. The strength came out, energy came out, more understanding. Then at the end, on the full moon day, Vesak full moon day, he attained the Buddha early in the morning in the dawn period. So then after that, after he enlightened for 49 days, there's no any teaching. He because he thought nobody can understand it. If I try to share also, people will call maybe crazy or something. So if I try to share, it's a waste of time. So for the 7 weeks, he did not give any teachings, but then the Brahman and Indra knew about it. He was Buddha. He's already Buddha. Then they requested. They requested to the Buddha, okay, what you learn, what you understood, what you gain, please share us. So then after 49 days, then the Buddha gave teaching in the Saranath about the Four Noble Truths. So he started from the Four Noble Truths. So Four Noble Truths, the number one is truth of suffering. Because Buddha started from the suffering. Because in this universe, everybody don't want suffering, but we are suffering. And Buddha just share the truth of suffering. Then the Buddha said, we have to know the suffering. we cannot remove the suffering, but we have to know the suffering. Then the suffering cannot come without any cause. Suffering cannot come without any seed. So there must be cause and condition. So we cannot remove the suffering, we have to know the suffering, but we have to find out the cause of suffering. So Buddha then the second noble truth is then the cause, the truth of truth of its source. Then the truth of its source is anger, desire, attachment, and ignorance. And these three poisons build out the self-centered attitude, and because of that reason, we relate it with the suffering. And then the third noble truth is truth of cessation, or the ultimate happiness, or the ultimate goals. So to attain the ultimate goals, what we have to do? We have to realize the nature of anger, attachment, and ignorance. When we realize on it, it will transform, it will remove it. When it remove it, then the suffering gone by itself naturally. For example, at night we cannot remove the darkness, but if we just switch on the light, darkness gone by itself. If we try to remove the darkness, so it is just giving trouble to myself. Something is like that. Then when we remove the source of suffering, then the suffering gone by itself. Then instead of suffering, there's the ultimate happiness, which we can say the truth of cessation, or the ultimate happiness. So the ultimate happiness, to gain the ultimate happiness also, we have to rely on the path. So what are the path then? Because when we transform that anger, desire, attachment, ignorance, it transforms into love, compassion, and true understanding. And because of related with these things, so there is Shila, there's a Samadhi, there's a Pragya, and there's a eightfold path, love and compassion, everything. This can be the path, this can be the source, and the result will be the truth of cessation. So he gave this sort of teachings in the Saranath. So similarly, and when he was giving that kind of teachings, so then after that, this is the first teaching, first sermon.
So this is the same first teaching you were talking about yesterday, the one that...
Yes. This is something like that. Then he gave the second teachings. The first teaching is something like that,
It's the basic one, the fundamental.
It is something, is foundation, it's the fundamental.
Yes.
It is something like that. First, be perfect by yourself. Okay? Or firstly, transform your mind by yourself. Then the second teaching is what you know, what you gain, and share others. Okay? Through the love and compassion. And in the second teaching, it shows about, reality, the truth. Okay? Then the third teachings is something somebody may have questions or the doubts, and to clarify the doubts, and the third teaching is mainly about the mental factor. So he gave the teachings in that way. So then one day to his disciples, he gave teachings, or he just shared about in his previous life when he was a Mahasattva, and the place called Namo Buddha, and I have done like this and like that, and because of that energy, today I am able to the Buddha. So, and this is the one way of story from this Buddha Shakyamuni's previous life. Then what happened to the tigress? What happened to the 5 cups? So that time when he sacrificed his body, so he make aspirations in front of the tigress and the cups. So when he enlightened in Bodh Gaya, then he gives the first teaching in the Saranath. His first main disciple there are 5 main disciples. Kunshi Kondinya, then the Asojit and Mahannam, then the Sangden Mr. Bhadra. So one I don't remember. So there's a 5 disciples. So 5 disciples were the rebirth of 5 cups actually.
Oh.
This is also he mentioned. And the tigress, the rebirth of tigress is the Prajavati. So because when in Lumbini, when Siddhartha Gautama born, after 7 days, his mother Mayadevi, Mayadevi has got a death.
Oh.
She passed away after 7 days.
Okay.
So Siddhartha Gautama was taking care by the stepmother Prajavati.
Oh.
So Prajavati was the rebirth of the tigress. So that is also mentioned in the sutra called Tigress. So because of that history, because of that story in the Vajrayana Buddhism, this place, this area is very sacred.
Yes.
And very important and very meaningful and having this quality. So my guru, my teacher Thrangu Rinpoche, who passed away last year at the age of 91. So he seems this place is very important. Having this thing, having this concept, then he built here monastery, schools, art, publications, and clinic, and everything in the education sector. And the aim is to spread the Buddhism, to share the Buddhism, all over the world, to bring peace and happiness to all the beings from this spot. So because of that reason, he built the monastery, everything here, and the meditation center, everything. And this is the story of Namo Buddha. Yeah.
You have these rooms and stuff, so the idea is that people will come and spend time here, and they can also learn, or how?
Yeah, they can come, they can learn. Yeah, they can practice. Even our retreat center is here, the junior retreat center for 1 year only for the teenager. But the main retreat center is in Bhaktapur.
Okay.
It is in Bhaktapur. So the period of retreat is 4 years. In that retreat center, there are many participants from all over the world. I think from 22 or 23 nations.
Okay.
So they are studying, they are learning, they are practicing, they are meditating in that place. For the monks, actually, for monks 4 years, but for them 6 years. Because monks are growing through the, the childhood, and they know some, they are familiar with, environmental influence and somehow.
Yes.
So that's why the 4 years, but for them, they 6 years. But what they did, they decided whole life retreat. Whole life retreat.
Who decided?
They decide by themselves.
Oh.
Yeah. There's many, not only 1 and 2. So maybe what they gain, maybe peace and happiness. So maybe they compare in their country, they compare in the practice. So maybe they choose this is the maybe right spot. There's many males, many females, maybe more than 90.
Oh.
Yeah, 90 people. Yeah.
That's where, in Bhaktapur or over here?
In Bhaktapur.
So they just stay there then?
Yeah, they stay there.
You have the place and all for it. It's a big center.
Yeah, but it's already booked. I heard that for 2025 there's no any rooms. Yeah. But the temporary retreat is for like 10 days. But 10 days just go and just do it, Yeah. But we have to follow the rules and regulations what is there. Early in the morning we have to get up 4:30, then the breakfast, then then meditation, then breakfast, then meditation, then class, then lunch. We have to follow in that way. Just go to one friend's room and talk, and we are not allowed like that.
Yes. And so in that again, as you were mentioning, the meditation would probably be some breath practice, and because it's a more beginner level thing, no? Or no, advanced also is there.
It doesn't mean that the wild practitioner, no need to practice on the breathing. So I think, so because we are breathing right now and it's a present moment, that's why starting is from the present moment of the meditation. I think like this, but more understanding, then the more clarification and more realizations. Even we breathe, we just concentrate in the mind. I think more deeper understanding.
Okay, so the retreat is more about just understanding and a little rapport with the teacher, probably.
Yeah, retreat is something like that. Before you train, before you learn, before you study, everything, and that is some sort of like an intellectual part.
Yes.
It's like a theory or something like that. But the intellectual understanding not really bring benefit actually. So that's why it should be organic, my own understanding. So to bring own understanding, own experience, then yes, we have to practice by selves. Yeah.
Okay. And apart from that, here I think you have the whole section for children also, the kid monks which are there. So that you all are basically providing to underprivileged, I heard you all.
So yeah, so they study all subjects. We have
in academics also.
Yeah, we have academic subjects. We have a Tibetan subjects. We have a Nepali subjects. We have English subjects. We have a math, computer, all everything. But but mainly we have small sort of Buddhist philosophy. Simple types of Buddhist philosophy means according to their capacity, and the purpose is in future when they go to the college, Buddhist college, then they can learn, they can study easily. Yeah.
So they are here, I mean, they are dressed as monks and all, but they are learning everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is the quite monastic way of education. Yes. But our main school is in Kathmandu. Thrangu Rinpoche built Shri Mangal De Boarding High School in 1987.
Okay.
And in that school, lay students, female, monks, nuns, all together there. And there are about 600 students right now. So, and that school is following according to the government rules. Okay, everything. And that is the follow according to the government rules. We don't have many philosophical subjects, and everything we have a science, all everything. And but this school is mainly purpose for the Buddhist college.
Buddhist
in future.
College.
Yeah, Buddhist college. What we say, the sherda.
What is Buddhist college?
Buddhist college means learn about Buddhist philosophy, which is composed by the Buddha, then the Nagarjuna, then the Arya Deva, then the Asanga, then the Basubandhu, then the Chandrakirti.
Okay, all the different schools.
Then the Shanti Deva, then the Dipamkara or Atisha. So they are all Indian masters, but the commentary spread in the Tibet also. The commentary, which is there's a commentary from the 8th Karmapa, 7th Karmapa, and the 9th Karmapa. So we study and we learn that philosophy.
But so they don't but as far as I know, these child monks, once they grow a little older, they get the option of not being a monk and becoming grihastha if they want.
Yeah, sure.
But then they will study Buddhist philosophy. They can always get jobs as teachers, and if they want to go the grihastha path, they can always be part of that whole ecosystem.
So it's up to them.
Yeah.
The period of years, if they want to stay here, then if they want to learn here, it's okay. If they want to leave also, yes, it's okay, it's fine. And they can disrobe their dress, and what they learn, what they gain in their life is with him or with her. So wherever he or she travel, that quality is with him or with her. So it does not make the difference because of the dress. So the dress is the secondary. Okay, but after leaving from here, they change the dress and disrobe it is okay, but they change the mental situations, then it is not good. What learn about the love, what learn about the compassion, what learn about not killing, then after that going to kill, then the harmful actions, then the violence, they try to involve in that factor. So, and this is not good situation. Otherwise, it's okay.
That is true, but I guess, if at all someone goes that far, then if it's coming from inside, then they are not suitable probably. This probably didn't suit for them and they went that path. No, but I generally mean that the person, because see, there is also some controversy because they say that especially child monks, the time they are given Diksha and they are becoming monks, they don't have sense, They don't have this understanding to really choose anything. So then, but then I think in almost all paths, they are always given an option after a point. When they do develop they become older and they are more sensible, they do have a choice of going the Grihastha way if they want. There's no one tying them down and forcing them. Because it is possible, right, after like 20 years, they may not feel they are suited for that path. Then also it's not good because you can't force a monk to be a monk.
So, when they become a monks in childhood, it is very easy to train them.
Yeah, that is correct.
So it is like making a pot. When we make a pot from the clay, so we can move any directions. But when it becomes harder, when it dries, we try to make it break it.
Yes.
Similarly, when they become like a 20, 25 years, 30 years, their way of mental level is already damaged, not pure, okay? Not pure. But since the childhood, when taking care of their mind, of their life, the learning process, everything is difficult. Even they don't know. Even they don't know what I will be in future, even they don't know. It's similar like that. The mother sends the children to the school, but they don't know what way I will be. But mother, father will decide it.
Yeah.
But when they are like 18, 19, then they will decide which subject I'm going to choose it, what I have to be.
Yes.
Then they have a freedom in that time. Yeah. But when they are like 6 months and 1 year, 2 years child, they don't have any options. They have to go according to the way of parents show. Yes. Similarly, the monastic rule also something like that. When they become a monk, when they are too young, it's very difficult for the teachers, and we have to, see day and night, and not one day, not 2 days, and years is very difficult. We can reject it, but when they grow older, if you want to train them, no benefit. But when they are too young, when they are like children, when we train, they think really yes, maybe yes, because they don't have many thoughts. One angle, yes, and they go and they go and they go and they go. Then when they are like 16, 18, 20, when I was young, I thought I don't have any options. But what I gained, what I got, tremendously wonderful. Tremendously wonderful. Meaningful life. I got it. Somebody have that kind of kind of experience. And somebody has I want to spend in graceful life. Okay? Like a layman life. So, yes, in that case, I can have a children, I can have a business, and I can have my own occupations. If they decide by themselves, it's okay. Because if they have a children, if they have like occupation, whatever, even if they have 3 children or 4 children, maybe if he thinks or if she thinks the monk life is very meaningful, so he or she will put one nun or one monk to the monastery. This is also the example. The
Wow.
another thing is they don't cheat, they don't defeat,
Yes.
they don't make harmful actions to the people. Like for example, this cost maybe 500 and somebody is coming, oh, this is like a 5,000. This is the harmful actions actually.
Yes.
Harmful actions, it doesn't mean to kill and go there. But okay, you have a hard work on it in this business, but 500, maybe 600 can be okay. In that profit, it is
Yeah.
not a great deal. But which costs 500, if he or she deal with this 5,000, then that's the harmful actions. So what she learned here, if they deal according to that point, then it's okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm sure for most of them, because those qualities are ingrained to some extent. Even within family life, all those qualities will flow.
So what I found these days means, like 20-30 years back, there's a Naitik Shiksha. Okay, Naitik Shiksha about the discipline and whatever. But these days, no Naitik Shiksha. So only basis on the company, project, computer, and politics, and everything is related outside. And people have a struggle on it. But we totally forget who am I. So because of that conditions, and there's no way of spirituality. Okay, there's only the development in the materialist way of life. But the people are developing in that way means to gain the peace and happiness. But instead of peace and happiness, always gaining the suffering. Why? Means the peace and happiness is not really exist on the outer materialistic things actually. The outer materialistic things has only temporary pleasure, and there is a comfort zone, and there is a facilities. And that sort of facilities, that sort of comfort zone, we are clinging as a peace and happiness. So this sort of understanding is the ignorance. Okay? Because first level, I want to be a millionaire or something. Then if I become a millionaire, I have that much problem. Then my concept is like billionaire. So it means in the millionaire, there is no access real peace actually. Means our mind always focus outside, and we try to forget myself in my mind. So that's why we lost everything from the inside, but we develop only from the outside. Then it became like empty inside, empty hole, something like that. But we need the external material way of life, because the external and internal is interrelated according to the Buddhist point of view. It should be balanced from the both sides. Then how we can bring the peace and happiness, not from the outside, but we can bring peace and happiness through our own practice, through our own understanding, through our own meditation, which we can go through spirituality, which we can bring from the spiritual way of life. So if we have that kind of connection from the both sides, then that can be the middle way.
What is the Naitik Shiksha thing you spoke about? You are saying now it's not being given.
Naitik Shiksha means, Naitik means ethic.
I understand,
ethical.
Like moral teaching sort of a thing.
Yeah. In Nepal, 20-30 years before, there's a Naitik Shiksha. Means how to respect your parents, how to talk, what you have to do, what you cannot do, if you steal, what will be, and these things, if you tell lie, and what kind of these things,
So that was given in schools or in
before?
temples? Or
No, in the school, in Nepal. But these days, always profit level, competitions, and computer, science, doctor, politics, and these things. That.
Yes.
So I never seen this sort of shiksha. In India, I'm not sure. And sometimes what I think myself is, even the people are just the Buddha's teachings. So whatever about the Four Noble Truths, simple teaching about the Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, the way of life, the spiritual way of life, every, after the primary level, after the grade 6 and 7, if we have one subject, if we have one subject,
Mm.
every university must, if the leader all decide in that way, must. So then we have a external materialistic way of journey, then internal spiritual way of journey, and these two things can make a connections, and there can be a bridge. This is what I think.
What happened with moral teaching was, I at least what I had seen in the Indian one, which I also learned, we had that value education or something they called it. It is so boring. Like, it is not deep. See, all this Buddhist theory, if you take, or any of the Sanatana Dharma, which they call, if you go deeper, it is very deep. That moral education they were giving was so basic. It will just say one thing, don't lie. But it's not so clear, no? See, today's situation, we face 20,000 situations. Sometimes lying is easy as long as you maintain your inner awareness. There is no problem, actually. So, I'm just saying, they used to give those teachings in such a simple way. It was not very relevant for today's life. So, what you're saying is correct. Maybe, in fact, at a little higher standard, if they gave a deeper understanding, which will help the student also. And it will actually be of value. It will be really good. So now they are getting it through other means, because now, yoga classes and all that comes in. So somehow they get some. But then moral education itself had watered down. So anyway, I don't think it was playing much role. It was, what it was doing was, it was making certain people too ethical, but it was not spiritual. It was more like they were holding on to rigid values, which make them incapable in life lot of times, because so all such stuff was there. But yeah, because I had all that moral education and everything, I cannot claim from that I got any sense. All my deeper sense of life has come just through my spiritual path I have followed, which has happened through its own way, I guess, from inner only, through yoga only first, because we started doing pranayama at home for health reasons. From there, one step by step, we went on and but yeah, so. But you're right, definitely at a younger age, when these things come in, the right type of stuff, it is very useful, because a person is open. And especially if you build that foundation from young age, the whole life it helps.
But the moral ethic educations, who publish, who create that subject committee members.
Exactly.
That's the difference,
That's what.
So, not knowing anything and just write and something, and it's not enough actually. So, subject committee members also should related with that subject and with related with that kind of experience, and they have to decide, and they have to write it, they have to publish it according to the situation which is suit for their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
in fact, a lot of this value education, I guess, because I studied in a convent school, it was more Christian oriented. So even for us from my Indian background also, it's like two things apart. Like what you learn in school and what you listen from your parents are two completely different things. So that is also a problem, because what you are, especially ethical knowledge, if you are giving someone, you have to look at the culture, no? That is the biggest thing. So none of that was happening, so it made no sense. But I don't know what may be the situation in Nepal, because Nepal was a Hindu country, so at least they might have taken care of that, at least at that point. Hope you found that useful. When I was having my conversations, some of which were recorded and some were not recorded, I had a lot of insights when I was talking to this Lama. In case you're curious about the Namo Buddha Monastery, it is basically located 1.5 hours from Kathmandu, and it's a very great place to visit. They have some guest houses where you can, where any visitor can stay and be part of the activities, and you can have your conversations with the monks and be part of the pujas and eat with the monks and have a really great experience. As you might be aware that I have an email list, and if you sign up for that, you basically get a free Excel sheet which has a list of some 30 plus Sattvic places where you can stay. Currently it's only for India, but I'll be adding Nepal and a lot of other sections soon. So you can sign up for my email list. The link is given in the description below.